Good evening, everybody, or whatever time you happen to be watching the replay of this. Thanks for joining me. We're going to play some harmonica tonight, and this is my 340th harmonica broadcast. I don't know what that means, but it feels like a lot. It feels like I should be the greatest harmonica player in the history of the world, which I am not. So, my name's Gary, harmonicaband.com. We are in the process of preparing to build the ultimate harmonica ensemble, marching band, something. I don't know what we're up to. We're just having fun with harmonicas, and I'm glad you're here to join us. Tonight, we're going to play on the diatonic. We're going to warm up with When the Saints Go Marching In, and I'll talk to you about several interesting things about it, I think, and technique-wise. Right, and then Blowin' in the Wind, a song that I just really can barely stand, but we have it tabbed out and it's next on the list, so we're going to do it. And then on Chromatic, I'm going to introduce you to a song that there's probably no chance that you know, called Cocaine Bill and Morphine Sue. If you were around in 1910, you might know it, and you would know a very different version of it than the one we have here on the site. And then we'll talk, and then we'll play, hey Vic, how are you? We'll play through, oops, I'm sorry. Hold on. You do not need to be listening to my humidifier. The humidifier actually is right next to these lower microphones that I use, I use those microphones down there for guitar and ukulele because they help pick up the instrument, and then up here I have the microphones for my voice, and that's of course the main ones for a harmonica picks up, but the humidifier is right next to the lower microphones, and I imagine at your house it sounds like whoa. So sorry, and then we'll play through By the Light of the Silvery Moon and I'll Fly Away. So we've got plenty of music to get through tonight. I don't think we're going to play had quite a day today and just did not get enough quality time in prior to broadcast here with the music. I think what I'm trying to say is I didn't practice no good. So if you will be patient with me this week, I'm going to really try to dig in. I've got a bunch of those tunes we've already gone through that I just need to slow the MP3 down to a more playable level. And we'll get all that done real quick here. And again, we're always, the feed is okay for me. Oh, it is. Okay, good. So we're always, we're just building and trying to build capacity, get your techniques together, get you really good at reading the sheet music, and honestly, both LG and Vic, who have joined us today, have done some harmonica tabbing, and it can be quite fun and quite rewarding, and a little bit maddening once in a while when it doesn't go well. And so I want to make sure that as we are going through these lessons and over the next few months, really talking about how to pick a song worth tabbing, how to tab it out effectively, why do they never seem to work on diatonic, that sort of thing. And so we'll be talking about all that stuff. But tonight, I'd like to just play and enjoy the evening as best we can. I'm not getting too fancy tonight just because I just had quite a day of it today, and I will eventually tell you all why. But the other thing that's happening, and I gotta be honest with you, you'll see right here. This looks pretty evil. My dermatologist decided I needed to do a chemical face peel, and I've done 2 in the past, and there's really never going to be a good time to do them. No matter what, your face goes with you, and it kind of melts your face off, and so it looks like I've got some sort of weird disease, but it's just dead skin cells. So it's to hopefully prevent future it's to prevent future cancers, but hopefully what I'm doing is it's going to melt my face off, and George Clooney's face is going to come back on here in just a little bit. All right, When the Saints Go Marching In. When the Saints. I'm playing from the August 17th, 2021 version, and obviously it's time to update this and get it fancier for us for the marching band. But in the meantime, we'll play off with this one. And it's 4 times through. Now it is 17 measures, so let's do it 2 times through. I'm going to write 2 times because it feels like 4 times I think the Saints would have already gone home as well. And now, here's why this is interesting. It's not a hard song to play. 4, 5, minus 5, 6. But in your noggin, you have to count those long notes or you will come in too early. And it happens all the time to me and all of the time to my students. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, Lord. Right, and they're always coming in too early. Always, always, always. Now, when you play to the MP3, you won't do that, but a lot of these MP3s are too fast, so that's what I'm going to be doing is slowing them down as I update the sheet music. And so, to avoid that, in your noggin, you have to count, oh, when the Saints, 2, 3, 4, 1, go marching in, 2, 3, 4, 1, oh, when the Saints go marching in, 2, 3, 4, 1, oh, Lord, right? So you have to count in your head or you will come in early. It happens on all the long notes. And it's interesting because when singers are doing this, they always come in late. Like they want those notes to be even longer than they are. But when you're playing an instrument, we just have this urgent need to get to that next dot on the sheet music. And so remember to count in your head. And then once we get the backing track slowed down and built out properly, that won't happen anymore because you'll hear it in your ear. But when you don't have that, please make sure you're counting ahead or counting the long notes. Okay, 2 times through. Remember, you're going to play down through 17 and then come back to number 2. Okay, I'm going to put myself a little yellow highlighter there along number 2, or I will be looking to go to number 1. And then the second time through, you're going to skip to the second ending, or in this case, the 4th ending. And remember, at the end, you got 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, it'll be fun. All right. Okay, not too. It says quarter note equals 140. Let's do it quite a bit slower. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's a 4-beat count in plus 1 beat rest. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 rest. Da 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 da. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 rest. Those are not even close to the right notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Oh, I love that. It just feels so good to sit down, pull out your diatonic harmonica and make something cool like that. Really not hard to play, but just wanting to get those long notes right. And then at the ending, that ending gets a little bit fast almost. Go marching in, bum, bum, bum. right? And so don't fall asleep there. Although if you're playing on your own, who cares? You play at whatever speed that makes sense to you. Really nice piece of music, and we probably could have played it a couple more times through, but yeah. So now, the reason we do that is to warm these up. I said this week we were going to start on the scales, and I forgot to put it on the schedule, so I'll put it on next week. So we'll plan on doing scales next week. Let's see. So let's go take a look at Blowin' in the Wind. I don't know why I don't like this song. It is super famous, and Bob Dylan has made his living off of this thing. Or I don't know if he made his living off this thing, but this certainly caused him to be able to make a living off of music. And I don't know. It's just not my thing. Let's play this one 2 times through. And anytime I start a song, I want to look through, peek up in advance, and see what I'm going to be dealing with. And this is definitely an easy song, right? There's no 7s, no 8s, no 9s, no 10s. And so there's not going to be a problem playing the song. So then the other question is, on the paper, it says what it says. But in your head, especially if you're in the baby boomer era, you're going to have Bob Dylan in your head, right? And which one is right? Well, I think there's 2 answers to that. One is, if I'm trying to play from the sheet music the way it's written, then I want to ignore what Bob did. On the other hand, if I want to sound as much like Bob Dylan as I can, then I want to use the sheet music as advice. And I think both of those are right answers. I don't think there's one for sure, absolutely, this is the way you should always do it. If you're a music teacher, you want them to do what's on the paper. If you're a performer, you want them to take what's on the paper and turn it into something better than what's on the paper. And so you do you, I guess, is the answer. But basically, the 4-beat pattern, they're still going to be that you still got to get to the right note on the first beat of the next measure. We have 1 long note at measure 7. When you see 2 whole notes tied together, that's usually like a singer might be really specific about getting in all 8 beats. Call him a man, right? But I don't know necessarily if you want to do that on a harmonica. You might think of it as man, right? And kind of let it fade away. But that's one of those places where you would make a meaningful decision as a performer how you want to handle it, and that happens 2 or 3 times in the song. Okay, 2 times through. Remember to skip measures 31 and 32 when you get down there, and then or the second time you get down there. When the first time you come back to number 1, right? Through number 1, I assume. Yep. Okay, good. I'll put yellow highlighter on measure 1. Make sure I go better. Yeah, that's enough. 4-beat count in, not too fast. Try to get the Bob Dylan out of it. Oh, and by the way, are you holding your harmonica correctly? Right. We need this sound chamber. Notice that there's no place for sound or air to get out of my hands anywhere at all. The whole thing is very tight in here. The whole thing. And of course, air and sound is going to get out, but I want that sound chamber completely covered up in all the directions. There's nowhere for the sound to get out, and that gives me a lot more opportunity to be in charge of that sound. Long notes almost always should be getting some vibrato, and then on some notes, if you feel like, hey man, I should be a little bit louder, you open that up just like you open up the top on a piano, let the sound out, be a little louder. And if it's a quieter section, you're holding on to that pretty tight. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boy, I'm having a hard time getting started. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, my harmonica died when I did the draw 3. I'm very too much stuff here. All right, there we go. Blowing in the wind. Now we can put that one away for a while. I don't know why I don't like it. It's a perfectly lovely tune. All right, get your chromatics out. We're going to learn about taking cocaine and morphine in 1910. Because you want to know, right? It's 2025. You should already be on top of this. All right, let's pull it up here. Where are you? Oh, really? Harmonic band. Oh, hold on. Reload. There we go. Okay, there. Now, I don't think I know this song. And I'm like, I hope you don't know this song because it's a sad song. And I'm going to teach it to you so you can be sad for the rest of the day. So, how this came down. Back in the day, vaudeville was starting to become a fun thing to do, and it's a terrible. It has so many really not great things about it. But people love to go to the vaudeville things, and one of the things that in New York City certainly, and some of the surrounding or larger towns, Cocaine Bill and Morphine Sue became a popular song. This was written in 23, so it was a little bit later than I said. So the story here is Bill and Sue are going up and down Fifth Avenue, and they're looking for somebody to sell them some cocaine or morphine. You have to know that cocaine and morphine were legal until they weren't, and it wasn't like they had rehab clinics back then. You just couldn't get it anymore, and so the poor things, they're drug addicted on something that was legal, and now it is not legal, and now they're trying to find some. Okay, and they're going around looking for this. Now, this is great humor in 1923. Oh, ho, ho, so funny. And so they would have sung this in a major key. Cocaine Bill and Morphine Sue were skipping down Fifth Avenue, singing, honey, have a on me, honey, have a on me. Okay, and then you repeat this song how many times? A whole bunch of them. And then it got published in a book, and then in a very obscure book, and then years later, 2007, I find this song in this anthology of body songs, and I was like, and so I played through it, and I liked the melody, but it really bugged me that it was in this major key, and it was all happy, and everybody's having a great time, and poor Cocaine Bill and Morphine Sue are struggling like heck. So I thought I should put this in a minor key. Now, I think this was probably 2002, really, and I want to show you briefly why this matters. At the time, I had just got my first ukulele, and here's something that's very fascinating. Okay, if I put my index finger here, middle finger here, and my ring finger here, I make an E minor chord. Right? Very sad sounding chord. What's super cool, this is a gift from the gods, is that if you take that shape and you take the exact same shape but just move everybody up to a higher string. So in other words, you're on strings 1, 2, and 3, and now you're on strings 2, 3, and 4. Same stair-step pattern. And listen to this. It goes really beautifully. Okay, you got like this tension there. So if you start on the first one, so I'm just learning how to play ukulele, teaching myself. There weren't very good teaching books back then. And I realized making the E minor chords kind of hard. But if I had a song where I could do this and then do that, I would learn to do this shape and be able to move it around a little bit. So I'm really happy. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to take Cocaine Bill and Morphine Sue, and instead of doing it in a major key and making it all happy and silly, I'm going to make it super sad. Cocaine Bill and Morphine Sue were skipping down Fifth Avenue, honey, singing honey have a on me, honey have a on me, right? So super sad, okay? And it's not at all the way the authors their author intent. I just took the chords, threw theirs out, and put mine in, adjusted the melody as needed, and now we have it here. Story goes, they're looking around for something to buy, going all in normal places to buy this stuff, and nobody will sell it to them because they don't have any more. It's illegal. You get in trouble, and it turns out this stuff is not good for you. And so then they eventually decide that they can't stand it, and they jump off a bridge and kill themselves. And now they're buried side by side up on the hill in the graveyard. Okay. The conclusion of our authors is ashes to ashes and dust to dust. If the coke don't get you, the morphine must. Okay. The other fun thing about the song is you're supposed to, when you do that, but you're going to have a hard time doing that and playing harmonica at the same time. So you can't make the sound. You just have to have a partner sitting next to you, and that whole entire job is just to go, honey, have a on me, honey, have a on me. That's the joke, right? And so that's still funny, but it's in a very sad context. Okay, all right, that's it. Now push as for why it's on chromatic. Look at measure 4, the last note in measure 4, and next to last note in measure 6, and then a bunch of the notes in measure 7. You're going to need to push the bar. It's better on ukulele, right? It's super sad on ukulele. Ideally, you'd have somebody playing the chords either on guitar or on ukulele, and then you're playing the harmonica, right? Okay, but be ready because you're going to be doing a lot of minus twos here, okay? And then you even have a -1 down there at the very bottom. Can you hear it? That's the saddest sound ever, right? And I think you guys will probably agree with me that drawing in hole number 1 is fraught with peril. It's really easy to get it wrong and sound kind of like a cow dying, and you want to try as best you can to get a clean sound out of number 1. And those of you who are really on top of your arranging, you notice we're doing holes 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. You can absolutely move this up to holes 5 through 8, and play on there, or even holes 9, 10, 11, 9, and 9 through 12, right? So you could play this higher up on the harmonica than it's tabbed here if you want a higher sound. I like the low sound because it sounds the saddest. Okay, all right, let's give it a try. Vic's gonna play it bad just to show us it's better on everything's better on ukulele. All right, here we go. 4-beat count in, not fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Couple more times. I finally got the fourth time through. I finally got it right. So yeah, it sounds really sad. Now, when we get the full arrangement of this with the backing track, it's going to sound. I'm going to find a cello or something. Wom wom. Right, and you want it to be super sad. Take time to read the lyrics. It's kind of cute. They're skipping along Fifth Avenue, and they're going down Broadway, and they're up on the east side, and they're in a drugstore painted green. I don't know why the drugstores painted green. Maybe they were green back then. And everybody was telling them, no more dope. And so then they leap from a bridge side by side. Sad. And in the graveyard on a hill lies the body of Cocaine Bill, and in a coffin by his side lies the corpse of his morphine bride. Okay, and then there's the moral of the story. So stay away from drugs, kids. And I have always loved this song. I don't know, the fact that it's supposed to be sung as this cute little ha ha ha, look at those guys, and when you're thinking about it, you're like, that's not funny at all. So there we are. There's Cocaine Bill and Morphine Sue. Nowhere else on the internet are they going to give you that. That's my gift to you. Probably nowhere else. I don't know. Maybe somebody else did it. By the Light of the Silvery Moon. Now, last week and the week before that, I was just fighting this song like heck. I'm probably going to fight it like heck again. All right? We're not going to use the backing track. We'll start at measure 5. We'll play down through measure 56. And there's going to be a bunch of rests there. I'm going to count the rests in the repeat, just so you know that they're there. And then, so plan on counting rests in measures 56, come back to measure 1, count the rests through measure 1 through 4, and then we play the rest of the song out. The only reason why I'm wanting to do that is I really want to get that sense of playing this whole thing, because when I finally get the MP3 adjusted to the pace where I feel like it's comfortable to play, you'll already be ready. You'll be like, that's too slow, Gary. Speed it up. Okay? All right. So we'll start on measure 5, and we won't count in 1 through 4 the first time, but we will count in 1 through 4 on the repeat. Okay? All right. This is a long song, so I'll see you at the end. Start with 3s. There it is. Okay. 1, 2, ready, go. I should be able to get the first measure right, don't you think? From number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2. Here we go. Bum, bum. All right. Boy, I'm blue. For some reason, my eye, when I get to the end of 25, I always want to skip measure 26 and go right down to 31. And then once I'm down there, I'm like, oh no, this isn't how the song goes at all. And the whole thing falls apart. All right. So, all right. By the Light of the Silvery Moon. It's really good with the backing track, and I'm going to learn to play this thing. I'm going to get it right. Okay. On a much easier one, let's try the All Through, I'll Fly Away. Where are you? I Will Fly Away. This is our last song for tonight. By the way, big changes. Starting in April, and I don't remember which week, I'm going to start teaching a class over here at UNM, University of New Mexico, at Albuquerque, and it's going to be on Monday nights. I have one class on Monday nights and one class on Thursday nights, and that's going to make this time slot. I got to move this time slot. Thursday I already had free, but they wanted to do these on Monday, which means you harmonica players have to move your day. I am thinking about 6 o'clock Mountain Time on Sundays. I think that Sunday evening gives more people an opportunity to come play with us, and whether they will or not, we can't explain to them how awesome what we're doing here is. So they just have to figure it out on their own. But send me a note if that's a major concern for you. But 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 5 p.m. for Vic and LG on Sundays. That's what I'm thinking about doing it. It's probably got to be at the 6 o'clock time slot, no matter what day we do it, but I'm thinking Sundays is probably the most likely where we could get a few other people to join us. So we'll take a look at your schedule, see what you think. I could do it Tuesday or Wednesday also. Can't do it Thursday. And of course Friday and Saturday, there's no point in doing it on those days. Nobody will come. So that's my thought. Okay, so you guys will let me know if that's going to be a huge problem. Hopefully you can adjust your calendars. Sunday night, instead of, what do you normally watch on Sunday night? Football? Yeah, guitars on Sunday, it's at 7, so we would do harmonica right before that. So harmonica, blah, 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 blink, and then we switch over to guitar, blah, 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 blah. And a lot of guitar players are kind of thought friendly toward harmonica anyway, because of Bob Dylan, actually. And so I think maybe that's our best bet. All right, I'll fly away. Let's play this all 3 times. You can play it on your diatonic harmonica. It's not super hard on diatonic harmonica. Or you can play it on chromatic, a little easier probably on chromatic. There are no sharps or flats, so you do not have to press the button. And the only thing I would say is pay attention to the slurs. So, some bright morning when this life is over, right? Try not to tongue that. Try not to toot through that. Over, right? It's supposed to be kind of all one note. Over. So really 2 notes, right? Da-da-bum. So -4 to -3, don't tongue, and then 3, knock that out. Same thing happens at 12, and it happens one other place. Where are you? 28. Okay, so be thinking about that in terms of technique. I always tell you guys, tongue between every note. It just creates the beginning and end of your notes. It makes it much easier to understand what's going on in your harmonica. But on slurs, you're not supposed to tongue. You're supposed to think of it as the singer doing some bright morning when this life is over. That's what they're really doing, right? Wow. It's what makes people love singing because of that. I was listening to, my wife likes pop music, so she puts my car radio on her station sometimes, and my head melts. But I was listening to somebody singing the other day, some pop tune, and that was what was actually very fascinating about it. The melody was terrible, but the way this, I don't even know who it was singing, was really bending the notes with their voice and making it really quite pleasant to listen to. So pay attention to that when you see these opportunities in harmonica music. 3 times through is too many. Let's do it twice. Okay, 740. Let's give it a shot. Okay, 2 times through, whichever harmonica makes you happiest. 1, 2. Oh, faster than that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 7, 8. Okay, there. That's another beautiful song. Not super hard to play. A couple of places kind of trip me up a little bit, but for the most part, working on your tone through that. So if you are on chromatic, man, that 8-beat -1, getting that clean is really hard. You might think about also upping the octave on this whole thing and playing it in the higher parts of the harmonica. Also, you could try it on the harmonica, the diatonic, or even your low F harmonica if you've bought one yet. All of those would make that sound really cool. So there we go. All right, that's what I know about harmonica for tonight. I am going to hopefully get some more solid quality time getting everything up and running for us. I'm so in love with this instrument, and I just was sick for a long time, and now I'm have a few things going on. It's getting kind of tight, but let's continue to make this a thing. I know, without a doubt, and I'm 100% sure, harmonica is on the back swing, right? We're kind of let it drift off into this sad little broken land, and now it's coming back, and it's coming back with gusto, because young people are starting to pick it up, and they're like, hey, this is kind of fun. So there we go. You two have a lovely evening. Vic and LG on the chat, and everybody else that might be looking at this or on the recording, keep playing harmonica. Peace.